Hey everyone, and welcome back. Since today is my 42nd day of playing on the CA server, I wanted to do a progress report of sorts to see what I've accomplished in the time that I've been playing here. I wasn't sure if my progress could be seen as a bit skewed, I guess you could say, because this is just a new account and I'm not a new player. But this was and is still a challenge for me, as my international game is probably the only account I've had where I really started playing right from the start. And I actually had a purpose with where I wanted to go and I wanted to do something with the game. The other servers that I have accounts on, they're either just to reserve my username or to check out new features that go to those servers before they come to international. So those are just more like placeholder accounts, and I don't purposely try to progress on those and really play every day. When I win gifts, it's just from logging on during an event. I do a couple things and then I happen to win a gift. I'm not doing anything to really purposely progress all that often. I think the Shrek server is probably the only exception to that, because I do log on there to try to progress, but that's mostly just to test new features. It's not having my own personal playing goal. It's just to test the features, the past features that are over there right now. I think the main difference between starting this account and my international one, though, is that when I started playing international, I didn't know how to play it all because I was completely new. So that's probably the main difference. But I do think there are tons more ways to make money now than there were back when I started playing, especially because the EC and your personal reserves are merged. So you can actually use your EC to create money for yourself. And back when I started playing, the EC reserve was completely separate. So any crops that you sold just stayed in your EC reserve. You couldn't use all that extra income to buy horses or buy items. And we didn't even have exchanges back then, so you couldn't buy items from players either. So, what have I done so far? I did write down a few of the big moments, and the first of which I thought was on my 9th day when I won a Hestia's gift in the plants event. It wasn't so much that I won a Hestia's gift that stood out for me, it was more how I won it that I thought was significant. And if anybody remembers the plants event we had 2 months ago, the orange seeds were the rarest seeds and they had the best prizes. And I think Horse only gave about 2 orange seeds out through 2 objectives that entire event, so they're really hard to get. And the objective in which I got my orange seed was to reach 78,000 Equus. And on my 9th day of playing, the best I could come up with after selling things was 20,000, because I couldn't access the exchanges yet either. So it was just selling items in the store. I could have donated a Helios Ray to complete the objective, but I kind of wanted to keep that, so I didn't donate that at all. But I did notice that the red and green seeds, you could plant those, and I could possibly get a Water of Youth or a Phility Stroke from one of those, because those were 2 possible prizes, but the prizes were randomized. So I had to plant quite a few of those seeds until I did finally get a Phility Stroke. I donated that to Ow in place of reaching 78,000 Equus. I got my orange seed and I planted and harvested that right away because I had a ton of water stocked up. And lo and behold, I got lucky and Horse gave me a Hestia's gift from that on my 9th day of playing. I had to be kind of crafty with how I was going to accomplish that, and I wasn't sure how I could reach that much money on my 9th day of playing, but I was able to get the Hestia's gift from just being kind of crafty with the strategy there and just a little bit of luck, because that was total luck that I got the Hestia's gift. Then after that, I just kept selling items, and then I finally accessed the exchanges on my 10th day, and whatever items I won in the events, I sold those in the exchanges. On my 20th day, I created my EC, and right now all I have are just 2 meadows, I believe. Yeah, I just have 2 large meadows, 2 large greenhouses, and 1 workshop. I probably need to go ahead and start buying up some more meadows, and I'll get there, but I've just chosen this time to buy horses right away so I can get past horses going. Then after my 20th day, I reached my about day 30-ish. I think it was 31 was when I went into the sales and I bought 7 future pass horses, and all of those were over 20,000 because I had amassed about 500,000 Equus at that time. The oldest horse that I bought out of that bunch was this mare here. She is now 25 years old, so her health is starting to decline, and she'll be a pass horse in about 5 years. So I was happy I got her because she was the oldest that I got out of that bunch. The oldest horse I have on my account is this mare, and she's now 25 years and 2 months. And I bought her just to do the mazes with her because she has 2200 skills. She was already fully bolted, and I figured 2200 skills would hopefully get me about +4 or +5 paces on this server. And she did get me +4 paces, so I could make more moves more often. And I didn't even notice that she was in her early 20s at the time. And I bought her in the auctions for 4200 Equus because I didn't even have access to the direct sale. So my oldest horse on my account was the cheapest that I got in the auction. So that was probably part luck and just being able to be on at the right time. And then after that, my next big moment was on my 38th day when you guys saw me buy my little sneaky unicorn mare here. I bought her and I'm really happy I got her. She was 250,000, but her skills, she had 2 of them already trained. So she was probably 5, maybe. I'd have to go and look back. I don't remember how old she was when I got her, but 2 of her skills were trained. I'm pretty sure most of her forest rides were done because I didn't have to do too many forest rides before those were finished and I could jump in to do mountain. She just got bolted on her speed. I did that yesterday. I'm not going to be fussed about getting wins on her. I'll just leave that. So she still has some more blup points to gain though from when she reaches 10 years old. And her blup right now is 76. So she'll still gain a little bit more blup, and I'll eventually put a Hestia's gift on her so I can hopefully sell her for a few passes. Then yesterday I went and I bought her a little friend. I got this unicorn stallion. His GP was a little bit lower than the top colt that was in the sales, but I decided to buy him anyway. He was only 124,000. He was the same price, but luckily his 2 of his skills were already trained. His forest rides were completely finished, and he was 7 years and 10 months when I bought him yesterday. So I just have to finish bolding him. I have to get I just have to finish bolding him and get him to 10 years old. And what I do want to do with these 2 is that I plan on breeding him to my mare, and I really hope horse will be quite nice and give me at least 1 unicorn foal so I can keep 1 unicorn foal and start breeding unicorns on my own just to maybe sell them to gain some extra Equus. If I get extremely unlucky, because I'm often unlucky with unicorn breeding, I hardly ever get unicorn foals, I'll just I'm still going to go ahead. I'll end up selling him for a profit. Hopefully I can make some more Equus on him. And I wouldn't mind selling some covers off of him too. And hopefully I can make some money from covers. So I'll breed him to my mare. Hopefully we'll get a unicorn foal. And whether I do or I don't, I still plan on selling both of these. So at 42 days, I already have 2 unicorns. And I'm pretty happy with that, because I know a lot of players think that it's nearly impossible for new players to get unicorns because they're so expensive. But if you just save up and just save up all your Equus and just wait for the right time to buy a unicorn, just buy the best value with what Equus you have. And I thought these were 2 really good unicorns that I got a hold of. So that's pretty much all the big moments that I've had so far. I think I bought about 19 horses total. 12 of them are over 10. So the past horse farm is growing, and I hope to keep adding to it. So I'll have a nice continuous supply of past horses going. I could probably get a little bit further with this if I maybe played a little bit more harder, and if I was super focused about I need to get a divine right now. But I kind of am taking this at my own pace, and I'm approaching it as I would on my international game, which is that I don't buy every divine that comes along, because if you just want a divine for the sake of getting a divine, you can just save up about a dozen passes or so and just go in the direct sales and buy a Falabella, because those are usually pretty cheap. But on international, I like only buying divines that have a perk that I think will be really useful to my game. Or in the case of just 1 or 2 that I have, I really like the way they look, and I just absolutely had that divine because I just thought it was really pretty. But I think for this account, it'll be a divine that I think will have a useful perk. So I am just taking this at my own pace and just waiting for that right moment. And that's kind of why I haven't bought too many other meadows. I've been buying up horses that I can use as pass horses so I can get that going. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with the progress I've made so far. I'm kind of surprised at where I'm at. That's how happy I am. And I hope to keep progressing further. So stay tuned, and hopefully we'll get even farther in the days to come. So thanks for joining me today, guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.